Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Bradley here, and it's time for the BuffRadio.com entertainment wrap-up presented by Buff Boy Brewing Company.
JB's Entertainment Wrap-Up.
Brought to you by BuffBoyBrewing.com. For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you'll surely feel naughty when you swallow their coffee. Shop Buff Boy Brewing's premium collections of coffee and tea at BuffBoyBrewing.com. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough buff. Here's what's making news this May 20th. It's the big Survivor finale tonight. The show celebrates its 50th season on the air. I remember that very first season. Do you remember people were having Survivor parties? Well, we'll talk more about that in a second. But while a bunch of past contestants, namely the winners, have been invited to the show to celebrate one of the most controversial winners, a convicted criminal, the OG winner, Richard Hatch, says that he did not get the invitation. Hatch posted on social media, quote, CBS Mornings lied, saying all Survivor winners were invited to season 50 finale. I'm the original winner and I was not invited, end quote. CBS later responded, saying, quote, all winners were invited to the Survivor 50 finale to celebrate the show's legacy, end quote. You might not remember or even know that this isn't the first time that Hatch was snubbed by the show that made him famous and infamous. During the show's 40th season, host Jeff Probst addressed Hatch not participating in Survivor Winners at War, where former winners competed on an anniversary season. At the time, Probst said, quote, given his history on our show, it did not seem appropriate. We were in a different time and different culture back then, and we would never let him run a challenge naked now. Looking back on it, it just didn't seem to fit, end quote. Probst, an executive producer of the show, said that he, quote, didn't feel comfortable. Hatch not only raised eyebrows with his nudity during that first season, there was, I guess you'd call it an oops, he did it again moment years later. Hatch returned after his win to compete on Survivor All-Stars. That was just a few years after his win, where he got naked again. This time, he nakedly rubbed up against fellow contestant Sue Hawk during a challenge. Hatch was voted out later that episode, and Hawk quit the show the next day over the incident. I think Hatch was the first reality show winner to get locked up on tax charges. There's been so many after him, though, right? Now, it was 2006 that Hatch was found guilty of 2 counts of tax evasion for allegedly not paying taxes on that $1 million he won from the show. He was sentenced to 51 months in jail, followed by 3 years of supervised release. After he still refused to pay the taxes, he was sent back behind bars in 2011. The 3-hour Survivor finale is tonight on CBS. Now, let me just go. Do you remember we were out of town. I was still living at home with my parents. I was a teenager, I believe, at the time. And we were out of town for a family anniversary. And on the radio on a Sunday night, they were talking about, I think it was Sunday. And we had to, my brothers and I were in the back seat, and we said, turn the radio, turn it off. We don't want to hear who won, because we were taping the finale to watch it at home after. But this was something where, people were talking about it the next day at work and school. On Monday, it was a big deal. And then as the seasons went on, people were getting together and watching as groups and having big, tiki torches and whatever to watch the show. It was crazy. And I have my memories of Jeff Probst because when I was a syndicated radio host hosting our Top 40 music show, he was on many times. Now, the first time that he was on the show with me was in 2012. He called in and voted me off as a surprise guest. I still remember it. So, you can listen to that episode from the show, from our radio show, at speakfreecelebwatch.com. CBS arranged it when Jeff was hosting his daytime talk show. I was told that we had 8 minutes, and most of our celeb chats wrapped up on time. But if the celeb kept talking, and the publicist did not interrupt, we'd keep going. We ended up running about 35 minutes because he was so chatty and we had so much fun. So he was on many times. Again, it's speakfreecelebwatch.com. You can listen to that on a special edition of Entertainment Wrap-Up. Today, why don't you listen to it during the commercial breaks of Survivor tonight? That's even better, right? The 3-hour Survivor finale ends up being 2 hours once you cut out all the commercials. So this is a chat. You can listen to it, just cue it up, have it ready to go, listen in 3-minute chunks for those commercial breaks, and there you get your Jeff Probst fix during the commercial breaks of Survivor 50 finale. I'm actually going with my husband tonight. It should be a good time. That's a check of your celebrity headlines for this Wednesday, May 20th. Tomorrow, we're talking about the end of The Late Show and Stephen Colbert's dramatic exit, I guess you'd call it. That's tomorrow right here on the BuffRadio.com entertainment wrap-up presented by Buff Boy Brewing Company. Till next time, I'm Jeremy Bradley.
For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel